So the first thing we're going to start off with is talking about the value of a real estate investor club, often called an REIA or Real Estate Investor Association. So tell us, what is the advantage of having one of those and attending?
Well, it's important, I think, for local investors to meet locally. There are several good reasons for this. One, it's usually a very inexpensive and even free often meeting place for individuals who are interested in real estate. Aside from that, often you have to go find a national group, and that will be expensive for travel as well as for fees that are often charged at the national level. Compare a recent roadshow that came through trying to recruit national investors to a national group who are charging $40,000 for their services and to be educated on real estate. Compare that to what is $15 annually to join a local real estate meetup where you have other investors who are also interested in real estate, have various levels of experience. You can ask questions, you can get answers, you can network in terms of finding mentors or joint venture partners, even private money lenders. You can find those locally. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money and get that education and that experience with finding partners nationally. It will also be your most reliable group of buyers. If you're a wholesaler, for example, you can email people in the investment group, 180 members in the Eastern Iowa corridor, and they're interested in real estate. They want to buy real estate. That is your ready-made buyers list. So why not join a local group? If you're going to be, particularly if you're wholesaling, that's a way of finding your buyers. If you're looking for property, people are all the time are selling property, so you can find not only buyers, but you can find properties as well.
I definitely understand what you were saying about what you can learn from or the mentorship that's available at these investment club meetings. My own experience has been that as you go and as you're learning about real estate investing, there's so many nuances to every aspect of real estate investing, and it's great to have the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation and ask your question and the nuance you have, because you can read everywhere on the web about how to do this, but then there's always that little nuance that you'd like just a little more information on, and it's good to have that one-on-one feedback.
And each market is a little bit different. Some markets are great for rental properties, others have a lot of foreclosures and maybe are great for wholesaling, and other investors will help to hook you up with the information you need right away so that you're not left trying to figure out not only what you like doing and in real estate, what you're best at, but also what your market is going to provide you.
So tell me more about the Iowa City Real Estate Meetup that you've pulled together. How did that come about?
Well, in the early 2000s, there was a REIA group in Cedar Rapids, and I was pretty active in that. But then with the real estate crash, really, I think that group kind of fell apart. There is also a Landlords of Cedar Rapids group, and right about the same time, I decided I wanted to get involved again in real estate. There was nothing like it in Iowa City. So I decided I'd start with the Iowa City area, and to my surprise, about half the group or more started coming from Cedar Rapids. So we've become more of a corridor group. They are generally the third Wednesday of the month, and we meet usually at 7 p.m. We try to find a public meeting space, a public library in one of the communities that we're serving. And if not, every once in a while we'll meet at a local restaurant or a local bar.
So what kind of things do you cover in these club meetings?
Well, we have to cycle around to Real Estate 101 every once in a while because we do have new people coming in all the time. Sometimes we'll have kind of a meet and greet where we'll informally have a group of people who are experienced and a group of new investors, and it gives the new investors an opportunity in a smaller setting to kind of ask their questions. And that's been a very successful kind of approach. We have property management sometimes as a topic. Really everything from investing in tax liens and foreclosure property, wholesaling, everything from that to landlording. We really try to cover a broad range, particularly with residential real estate. Every once in a while we'll come up with a commercial property topic, but mostly it's with the residential.
And you're open to topics that
yes,
the club members
we generally will ask club members. Probably half our meetings are set up based upon what club members tell me they want to talk about, or people they may have an expert in an area.
How has the club changed over time?
Well, it's grown exponentially. We started out with about 3 people on average the first year. Then it became 7 to 12, and then it became 20 to 25. And it's remained about 20 to 25 most meetings, but the numbers of people who are at least getting to the Meetup site and joining that way has grown. I think last year was maybe 125, now it's 180.
Very good. What kind of books have inspired you as an investor, and why?
Well, most people start out with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Some maybe back with some of the old classics like Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. I didn't really start there. I started actually with Robert Allen, who was very popular in the 1990s and the early 2000s. And his main claim to fame were the series of books, No Money Down, Real Estate Investing with No Money Down. And he really did convince me that there were ways to invest without a lot of money out of pocket. And I've tried to, was encouraged with that. So that's really how I started, was with Robert Allen and his program. We did do some investing locally first, bought our first rental property before I started with that program. And then I did exactly what I tell people not to do, and that is go to a big national program and start there. So I'm one of those people who, within the first year of starting to invest, did go through a $25,000 program. And they've actually gotten more expensive, some of the bigger names. And I actually advise people not to do that, to start small, start locally, start by buddying up with other local investors and then go from there. Then if you want to invest nationally or on some specialized kind of topic, then go ahead and get some national training.
Do you have other things that you would suggest to a new investor as they're looking?
Well, get to know yourself and what you are comfortable doing. A lot of people start out getting a rental property and then discover that they absolutely hate tenants and toilets. And yet the property cash flow isn't enough so that they can go hire a property manager and actually make it cash flow. So they're stuck with tenants and toilets. Other people decide that they want the quick cash. They don't want to get wealthy on the slow route. They want to try to do it fast. There's probably no real way of doing it fast, but if you're more interested in cash or need cash first, then you need to start with wholesaling. So you need to think through your strategy and and build your network, your team, which includes an attorney, your other investors who might partner with you, a realtor, and other people who would be important in locally in being able to support your real estate business.
I think that's all really great advice. So if you are someone who's interested in joining, how do you go about that?
Well, you go to our Meetup site, search for Iowa City Real Estate Investing or even Cedar Rapids Real Estate Investing, and you'll get the closest Meetup groups that are into the real estate investing area, and then you can sign up at that site.
And what is the fee per year?
We've just raised it from all of $12 to $15 a year, so that supports the Meetup site. They're charging a little over $160 a year just to support the Meetup site, but it also helps with kind of offsetting handouts and sometimes refreshments that we bring in.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Liz. Appreciate it.
Sure.